Surplus, the hidden engine of civilization. When surplus is growing, life feels easier. When surplus is shrinking, life feels tighter, even if nothing has officially collapsed. In the previous module, we learned that every economy runs on physical reality, energy, materials, and time. Now we add the missing piece, the one that explains why some societies feel stable, advanced, and prosperous, while others struggle just to maintain daily life. That piece is surplus. Welcome to Investorms. Surplus is what's left. After survival, surplus simply means extra capacity beyond basic survival. If a society produces just enough food to feed everyone, there is no surplus. If it produces more food than needed, the extra food is surplus. But surplus is not only about food. There can be surplus in energy, labor, materials, capital, and also time. Surplus is what allows a system to do more than survive. It allows a society to build, to specialize, to innovate. Without surplus, every unit of effort goes into staying alive. Section takeaway: surplus is the extra capacity left after basic survival needs are met. It is the foundation of everything beyond subsistence. Surplus is the hidden fuel of complexity. Everything we associate with modern life depends on surplus. Hospitals exist because not everyone has to farm. Universities exist because some people can study instead of producing food. Engineers, scientists, artists, and entrepreneurs exist because the system can support specialists. This only happens when a society produces more than it immediately needs. Think about the difference. In a low surplus world, most people must focus on food, shelter, and basic energy. In a high surplus world, more people can focus on healthcare, technology, education, and innovation. Surplus turns survival systems into complex civilizations. Section takeaway: surplus allows specialization. Specialization creates complexity. Complexity is what makes modern life possible. Surplus can grow or shrink. Surplus is not guaranteed. It can expand when energy is abundant. Resources are easy to extract. Productivity rises. Labor forces grow. It can shrink when energy becomes harder to produce. Resources require more effort to obtain. Populations age. Systems become more expensive to maintain. When surplus grows, life feels easier and more optimistic. When surplus shrinks, life feels tighter and more stressful, even if there is no visible collapse. Section takeaway: when surplus expands, systems feel stable and opportunity grows. When surplus shrinks, pressure increases across society. Why surplus explains how the economy feels. People often say this: the numbers say growth, but life does not feel better. That disconnect often comes from surplus. An economy can grow on paper while surplus shrinks in reality. More energy, materials, and labor may be required just to maintain existing systems. More effort goes into maintenance instead of improvement. This leaves less room for wage growth, public services, infrastructure upgrades, innovation. People feel like they are running harder just to stay in place. That feeling is not imaginary. It is a surplus signal, acting positive or negative. Section takeaway: an economy can grow financially while shrinking in surplus. When surplus shrink, more effort goes into maintenance. Daily life feels tighter even during growth. The bigger perspective: surplus is what separates survival from stability, stability from prosperity, prosperity from innovation. Understanding surplus helps explain why societies rise in complexity and why they sometimes simplify without dramatic collapse. It also explains why periods of expansion feel very different from periods of constraint. You are not watching random cycles. You are watching changes in surplus capacity. That is one of the deepest drivers of historical change. Section takeaway: surplus is the engine behind civilization's complexity. Changes in surplus shape how stable, wealthy, and innovative a society can be. To recap all the lessons so far in one sentence map. Lesson 1. Physics comes before economics. Lesson 2. Energy, materials, and time set the limits. Lesson 3. Money cannot override those limits. Lesson 4. Surplus shows how much room exists inside each limit. Now, as you look at the world around you, ask yourself this. Where do you see more effort going into maintaining systems, costs, repairs, services, rather than improving or expanding them? Once you see surplus, the direction of the system becomes clearer. Investorms. University is where we see the system beneath the noise. Access the full course materials by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in our bio. You can also join our community activities for free.